I've been all in my phone, I got options. And I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play your fan.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Yana Lachey, and we back with another video. So today's video, I am going to be talking about the second trimester and the first trimester and what I experienced. I'm just going to combine the first and the second trimester in one. I'm currently in my third trimester, so that video will come later. But I just wanted to make this video and explain to y'all what I experienced. Everybody's pregnancy experience is different, so comment down below what you experienced and if you had some of the same experiences as me. Okay, so first things first, I don't have a list, but I'm gonna just tell you. So when I first got pregnant, like I told y'all how I found out I was pregnant, I did that in my last video. So as I started getting further along into my first trimester, it was terrible. It was terrible. Like, I wanted to, like, that's how bad it was. Like, nobody talks about the mental state that you go through while you're pregnant. Like, this is what I went through. I wanted to commit suicide. Like, that's how bad my first trimester was. Like, my first trimester was terrible. Like, I have so many messages in my phone of me telling my child's father or telling my friends, telling my grandmother, my mother, like, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I cannot do this. Y'all, I went from vomiting once, maybe a week, to I started vomiting 7 to 10 times a day. And y'all, it started out of nowhere. Like, I was okay when I found out I was pregnant. I was like 5 or 8 weeks. But as we started getting to like 10, 11, 12, it started to go crazy. Like, I started to throw up 7, 10 times a day. And I started like researching, and I found that, you know, it's called like hyperemesis gravidarum. I never got that diagnosis from my doctor, but it says like when you throw up constantly that many times, that's basically what you have. And so I could not keep no food down. So before I got into my first trimester, like down deep into it, I weighed 145 pounds. That was my starting weight, okay? Y'all, gone. That weight left. I went down to like I think the lowest I seen myself was 120. My skin was breaking out. My hair was falling out. Like, I remember washing my hair and I'm like, my freaking hair is falling out. When I tell you my body was going through the changes, y'all, my body was going through the changes, and it was bad. Like, I just could not understand why I couldn't eat. Like, I could sleep, but I could not eat. Like, the nausea and the vomiting, and trying to do this while working a 9 to 5 was terrible. Like, I had to get family medical leave of absence from my job because the vomiting, I had to leave off the floor from my patients and vomit. Like, sometimes I would sit in the bathroom for 20 minutes, just vomit. Like, and then it would get to the point where I just stopped eating like foods, and I would do broth, y'all. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I lost all of that weight. I couldn't keep down any like fluids or water, and the doctor kept saying, you need to drink water, you're dehydrated, you know, your urine is just like, you're dehydrated. I kept going to the emergency room because I'm like, y'all gotta do something. Like, I can't eat, I can't drink, I'm weak. Like, my body is weak. Like, you could tell in my skin that I was dehydrated. My lips were so cracked. I was so freaking dehydrated, and like, thirsty and hungry, but I was just so scared that all my food was just gonna come up. Like, and it would get to the point where like I would go into the store. I went into stores, you know, looking for baby stuff just to look around and stuff. And I would hurry up and have to leave out because I would get so nauseous. Like, it would be just a smell. And I would just be so nauseous. And I would have to hurry up and leave and literally run out of there, throw up. Like, you don't know how many times I pulled over in Target, Walmart, Ross, Burlington's parking lot. And I have my bag and I am vomiting. Like, vomiting crazy. Like... And I kept looking up, when is this gonna stop? When is this gonna stop? And they would always say, like, as soon as you get into your second trimester towards the middle, it will slow down. So as we got into the second trimester, it didn't stop until I turned about like 18 to 20 weeks. Like, that's when it started to stop and chill. But I was still vomiting. I'm in my third trimester now. And I still have days when I do vomit, but it's not 7 to 10 times a day, okay? It's just like when I have too much heartburn and indigestion, sometimes it makes me nauseous, and sometimes I just run to the bathroom and I just force myself to throw up whatever is, you know, not trying to go down. And then I started introducing myself to Tums, and I think it's this other medication that starts with an R. But y'all, they do have Zofran. And honestly, I never took any of the medications that were prescribed for me from my doctor. I never took them. Why? Because I was so scared that my baby was going to have a cleft lip. Like, and Zofran, when you look it up, it tells you on there that your baby could have a cleft lip. And I was like, I could just thug this out because I'm just too scared. I'm too scared to mess up my baby's face over something that could be controlled. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I'm having Braxton Hicks. Ooh. But, so yeah, I never took none of the, I think the other one was like something with an R, but I never took none of them because I was just scared. And honestly, people tell me that Zofran works for them, but it was just like, I was just too scared. Like, I don't want to do nothing to harm my baby. And my OB, before she prescribed me the Zofran, she was like, there is a chance for your baby coming out with a cleft lip. Like, it can happen. It can't happen. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, if you can't keep nothing down to the point where you'll be hospitalized, you might just need to try it. So before we got down to that point, I just decided not to take it. I started looking up home remedies, like some tea, like some herbal teas and stuff, that none of that stuff was working. So honestly, I just dealt with it. Like, I just dealt with throwing up every day. Like, I just woke up every day and I was just like, you know what? We're gonna throw up every day. I just prepared myself for it. Like, I would bring my bag in a car with me at all times. I would make my stops at the stores really fast, quick. And I would just have my bag because I just knew I was gonna throw up. So it was just like, I just got used to it. It started to really weigh on my mental, and I started to get really depressed because I just started not recognizing myself. Because it's like when you're sick and your body is going through so many changes that you don't even know what's going on and you can't recognize, and people around you keep saying, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better, but it's not getting better. It makes you depressed. Like, I don't care what nobody says, it makes you depressed. Like, I was literally depressed. And honestly, my depression has not completely went away. Like, I still have my episodes, and I'm in my third trimester where I feel alone in my pregnancy. Like, I feel like nobody understands what I'm going through. Not even like my mom that's had, you know, 4 kids. She knows what I'm going through, but it's still like, I still feel alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think pregnant women kind of isolate themselves because it's so much going on that you don't even know. And another thing, y'all, I don't know if this was normal or not, but I was not happy when I first found out I was pregnant because it's making me so emotional, but I kept like telling myself, oh, you're a failure. You're pregnant now. You're supposed to be in school. You're supposed to be going to nursing school. You're supposed to be a nurse. Like, you're supposed to be here. And now it's like, you're here. And it's really making me emotional, like, because I really felt like I was a failure. Like, sometimes I honestly still do, because it's like pregnancy is looked down so bad. Like, people look down on pregnancy, like they do. And this was not something that was planned, but it is my fault. But it wasn't something that was planned. And honestly, I just wasn't happy, because I was just like, out of all the things that could happen, this is what I'm dealing with now. Like, and then on top of that, I'm going through the sickness. I'm not happy. Like, and I didn't really start getting happy about my pregnancy until like deep down into the second trimester. Like, I had no emotions at first, and then I started beating myself up. Sometimes I still beat myself up, because I'm like, now you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to go hard, because you're a mother. You can't sit around and do this. So like on the days where I'm being lazy, I feel like a failure, because I have to go hard for my child. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, everybody goes through things with their child's father. I'm not going to speak on that in this video, because it's just like not what I want to talk about. But that weighs on a pregnant woman's mental as well. Like, you have to have a support system. Like, you do. Like, and my family supports me. They really do, financially and mentally. But at the end of the day, it's just you and your baby. And it's like, it's you, your baby, and your mind. Like, your mind plays tricks on you. And you know, when you first find out you're pregnant and you have to tell people, and it's like you already know how certain people are going to react. It's like some reactions, I was just like, I was expecting that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. You know, I'm pregnant. I'm 23. But one thing about it, I got my own place. I got my own car. I pay my bills. I got a job. I'm grown. It's not like I live in my mama's house. It's not like I'm out on the street. I don't have nothing. I'm fine. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could take care of my baby. But yeah, y'all, I didn't start getting happy about my pregnancy until the second trimester. And really, when I first got my first sonogram and I saw the baby move, it did something to me. Like, it's like, oh my God, you really about to be a mother. Like, you really have to get yourself together now. But I honestly, now that me being in my third trimester, I can't say things have let up. Only thing that has let up is the nausea and the vomiting. But I am dealing with gestational diabetes. That's a new thing that has came during my pregnancy or whatever. I do have gestational diabetes, so I am dealing with that, and you know, insulin and my diet and stuff like that. So it's like a lot weighs on my mental, because it's like your body is going through so many changes and your health is at risk and your baby's health is at risk. So yeah, like, I would say if you are pregnant or you want to be pregnant, I would say make sure you have a very, very strong mental. Like, you have to have a very strong mental, because anything can happen. Like, your health can decline, like, because you're pregnant. It's just because you're pregnant. And make sure you have a good support system. Like, don't do this alone. Like, this is not something that you want to do alone. It's just not. Like, I would not want to go through this by myself. Like, if I had no family to talk to, I would probably jump off a bridge, being honest, because it's so mentally draining when you have nobody to talk to. You have nobody to tell about your symptoms. And I feel so bad for mothers whose child's father is not around at all. Like, they don't want nothing to do with you or the child, or they don't want to have nothing to do with the child at all. I feel so bad, like, because I have a support system, y'all, and it still feels like I'm alone. So I can only imagine if you don't have a support system, how alone you feel.
I've been all in my phone, I got options, and I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play your